Wichita Metro Transit Authority Agreement, Addendum 1. This addendum is to expand current services provided by the Wichita Metro Transit Authority to include 4 additional runs and 2 shuttle trips. The transportation services for the runs will consist of 3 separate bus trips to and from Northwest High and another to and from Heights High. It is recommended the board approve the agreement with the City of Wichita to provide transportation services for Northwest High, Heights High, and the 2 mutually agreed upon shuttles in an amount not to exceed $150,000 for the 2018-19 school year.
Okay, thank you for being here.
Good evening. Thank you for this opportunity to be able to speak on this very important expansion to our district. As we talk about Wichita Transit and the service that they provided for us, we begin the school year by coming to you asking for the opportunity for us to be able to expand what they've done in previous years. So they are currently running 3 trippers to Southeast High School, and what we are requesting for approval now is to expand those services to include 4 additional trippers. That would be 3 trippers that would serve Northwest High School. This would leave Northwest with 1 yellow bus and the remainder of their transportation needs being served by Wichita Transit for regular education. We're also requesting or asking for approval for another additional tripper to Heights High School. The cost of these buses is around just under $230 a day, which the total for all 4 buses that we're requesting times 151 days is approximately $137,410. Now, I will clarify that your director of operations cannot do math because as part of the item that I requested for approval, I failed to take into account the second part of this. So we've made an adjustment to the approval amount to include the next portion of it, which is the 2 Wsu Tech Shuttles. As you know, we provide services to our students to attend classes at WSU Tech as part of our CTE program. And first student, because of the timing in the morning and the afternoon, has been challenged to provide the drivers for this because we want the drivers to take students to school on regular buses. And so we've reached out to Transit about the possibility of them taking over 2 of these shuttles, also 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. The cost for these would be about $39 a trip, and that would be twice a day, morning and afternoon. The total cost would be around $12,000. This would be reviewed at semester. Obviously, the students that attend WSU Tech change at semester, and so we would, at the end of this current semester, assess the need, and then from there move forward with either making changes to it or simply eliminating the service in general. We are also exploring the possibility of additional expansions. Obviously, I think moving forward, if we are expanding beyond the point where we are today, in looking at next year, we'll probably come to you with a maximum approval amount. That way we don't have to come to you every time that we're adding a trip or 2 buses here and there. So that's where we're heading. And Ms. Riveros can talk more about the successes that we've had as a part of this program.
So in terms of our expansion, Wichita Transit is really meeting our needs with consistent drivers. We are in a state where we currently have a few runs not filled with permanent drivers, and the runs that Wichita Transit is providing us with do have those consistent permanent drivers. Another positive thing is these buses are always on time. I've gone out to some of the stops to wait with our students, and when the bus is supposed to be there at 7:06 a.m., it's there at 7:06 a.m. Video pulled is very timely. We had one instant this school year where video needed to be pulled, and they have great video on the bus and around the perimeter of the bus. It's clear and it provides great information. So they have lots of great technology where students are very, very safe on the bus. There's an app called My Stop. In this app, you can follow the transit buses where they are in town, and it shows just where they are on a map of Wichita. So there was a stop I was at just recently, and I was standing with a parent, and I said, I think your bus is just coming around the corner, because that's what it showed in the app. Look up, and there's the bus. And so they're very accurate. It's very neat. The service provided from the transit employees has been stellar. Without a doubt, they are on the same mission of making sure our students believe, achieve, dream. They're right there with us. They want to make sure our kids get to school. They're very stellar in terms of responding to us, responding to emails, and they're there to work with us. With that, they have a full understanding of student transportation. Wichita Public Schools works with providing training to bus drivers, and Wichita Transit sends people to those trainings just the same. And it's a little bit different providing student transportation than it is transporting items or goods. There's a little extra to that, and they're there to help with that. The parent feedback has been positive. It's nothing better than getting a phone call to my office saying that the parent is pleased with the Wichita Transit Service, specifically the timeliness of it. It's there when it says it's going to be there. With the passes to ride Wichita Transit, students get a little pass on their ID. They can use that to access the bus system anytime in the community. So if they want to access it to go to work or to go to volunteer on the weekends, they can do that. It's not just to and from school. So that's definitely been a benefit to us. The Wsu Tech Shuttles will be on time as well. And then Wichita Transit works well with First Student. They're not in competition with each other. Wichita Transit is simply helping out First Student right now as we continue to hire on drivers and get in permanent routes. They're there to help, and they see that. And as Fabian said, we want to grow more. If we see a need where Wichita Transit can easily swing in and pick up some kids right on a route, we want that to happen.
So as we move forward, it's obviously our partnership with transit has been great, and we continue to expand. It's very important to note that as much as it's expanding, they still can't meet obviously our overall need for buses as a district, and that's where our partnership with First Student continues to be crucial. But transit has been a great partner in helping us identify the need and address that need, that driver shortage that we've had. Any questions?
Yeah, I have one. In fact, I have a couple. I know with the southeast routes that other people can ride the bus if they wanted to. Is that going to be true with these routes as well?
Yes, that is true.
Okay.
As part of the service,
if we have a parent that wants to go to school,
they can
ride the bus.
As part of this service, and transit operates under different guidelines than we do, they can't deny service. And so as a part of this, yes, if someone chose to get on a stop. Now, important to note that the buses aren't in their regular locations. We are giving them the list of the stops that we want them to
Right.
make, so they are in corners.
Yeah.
But yes,
Well, I wouldn't anticipate that we'd have a rush of people, but we might have a parent that wants to go to school.
and yes, they can.
Okay. The WSU Tech addition that you added on, the shuttles to them, will they be picking the students up at at a normal stop, or will they be picking them up at the high schools?
Go ahead.
Sure, that'll be at the high school, right, and then taking them to the tech.
Okay, because the student would be going to their high school classes, say, in the morning, and then going to tech in the afternoon, or vice versa,
Yep,
correct?
and sometimes they may be taking transportation from their neighborhood to the high school, and then from there getting on
The tech bus, okay.
And
Very good.
important to note also that we only receive reimbursement for the students that we're transporting through WSU Tech if they're transported from the school
Okay,
there.
that's a good reason why to pick them up there, but I just, and I want to give a shout out to one of our board members, because Stan has been on the transportation board for quite a while now, several years, and he has been instrumental in helping us get this organized. And you know, he's kind of the quiet soul behind the scenes and doesn't say a lot, but I know that, and I want to give him a big thank you. So thank you for helping us.
Oh, thank you, Cheryl.
Okay, Stan, you're up.
I was going to say, the one good thing, the way we can break this down is that with this board, what this board has done is help us break down walls, and the Wichita Transit Authority breaks down walls. We have a problem, which is some bus shortages and some unique transportation issues going out to Southeast High School, that kind of thing. And instead of having two separate bureaucracies. What we have is two groups working together and solving each other's problem. And quite frankly, what Wichita Transit needs is numbers and people riding. So they have a problem, we have a problem. We just broke down some walls and worked together. And but in the long run, we will always do what is most cost efficient. Right now, this is a current problem, and so it's working out for both of us. I did have one quick question. If there's anyone out there that is looking into partnerships with the school district, I would just make a plea that if you're interested in partnering with us in any way, one thing you can do is help us reduce the bus pass rates for some of these students. So one reason why West High is having such a great success with theirs is because they do have a partner that has reduced the rate of the bus passes. So if anyone's listening and anyone wants to have a partnership with us, there's some golden opportunities here.
Thank you. Ben?
So with the expansion of transit buses going from the community to our various schools, and combined with that adults can ride those buses too, have we looked, maybe that's a question for you, should we look into maybe negotiating a discounted rate for staff? Possibly, maybe not necessarily the full-time staff, but like those that work half days, those that work like in 0.8 FTE, something like that, so they could ride transit to work and back.
Had not thought of that, but we're going like, everybody's looking at each other going, good idea. We can definitely explore that.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Ron?
One of the things that we noticed here earlier was the amount of years that the bus drivers had accumulated. And one of the things that stuck out in my mind was the bus drivers, I've taken several field trips with students, and you probably have too. And one of the things is they run a bus like a teacher runs a classroom. You know, they set the expectation. They have their students trained. They know what to expect when they go in on that bus. So I'm kind of concerned about our students being, I guess, briefed on the expectations. Maybe not, I don't know, but I'm just thinking the more students you're going to get, it might be something to consider.
Yes.
Thank you.
And just, we've adopted a district-wide behavior management program for buses, and Wichita Transit has adopted it for these routes too. So even in terms of training, the behavior expectations are the same whether you ride a yellow bus or a blue city bus. And they've been good about communicating with us in the schools in terms of if there are behavior issues, so.
Stan?
Just real quick, just also want to throw in a plug that the Wichita buses have free Wi-Fi. The students like that, as we do too.
Judging from the ridership that we have been seeing at Southeast, I think this is going to be successful. So thank you very much for working hard to partner. We appreciate it. Thank you. I'm seeing no other questions for you all. Thank you. Let's see, we do need to approve this agreement tonight.
Yes, so I would like to make a motion that we approve the agreement as stated.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Julie and seconded by Stan that we approve this Transit Authority agreement. Please cast your vote. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you.
Thank you.